there's a whole message behind kind of the whole room. So like in the back, it's sunset, and in the front, sunrise. And the idea behind all the mountains is the idea that life is just one big, like, I don't think that there's really a peak in life. I think there's valleys, there's drops, there's bad days, there's good days. But at the end of the day, there's always going to be a sunrise and a sunset. And, you know, you grow from it, you get stronger. And so, like, my room, every day I wake up and it kind of encapsulates it.
Dude, that's awesome. I like that a lot. So we're actually Gator brothers, right? You went to UF, you just graduated. I went to UF, graduated in 2014. But we're also big proponents of mental health. And on this podcast, I talk a lot about health and wellness, spirituality, and things of that nature. And I figured you would be an incredible guest to get on here. One of the stars on the TLC show, I Am Jazz. I want to thank you, Sander, for taking the time out of your busy schedule to hop on the podcast today.
Yep, I'm so glad to be here. I'm really excited.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Really cool. So when it comes to mental health, you're someone who's super aware of your mental health. And what are some of the things that you do? Actually, let me take a step back. What's your definition and what does mental health mean to you?
So, I mean, I don't look at mental health as a standalone thing. I kind of group mental and physical health together because I think when I'm working out and people are like, oh, you're going to try to get stronger, I do it for my mental health. And then when I'm doing other things, it's also for my physical health. So I think just general health and together is grouped into one thing, where you're just focused on putting yourself first, or maybe in some ways putting others first is good for your mental health as well. But it's just kind of taking care of yourself and paying attention to how you're feeling internally and what you're kind of exuding externally.
Yeah. How long have you been on your own mental health journey?
Well, I would say that I've been on a mental health journey. Actually, I wouldn't say that. So I would say my mental health journey really started when I tore my ACL in high school, senior year, championship football game. Not that I was going to play college football, but it was a thought of mine for sure. And I tore my ACL, and after that is where I really learned what depression was. And then in college, first week after summer B was a great time. Go into first week of a fall semester, you're expecting it all to be a fun party, games. I was rushing a frat, all these different things, and I could not get out of bed some days. And it was the first time I really realized what anxiety was. So it started with ACL, where I learned kind of what depression was and how I can be sad and that these are real things. And then in college, when I actually started feeling it, I realized what anxiety was. But I think I've always kind of had some mental health struggles. Like, for example, before a big football game, when you're stressing, I never thought of it as anxiety or stress. I thought it was a part of the process, But that's anxiety. Going out there, I was a kicker. Going out there before a big kick, that's anxiety. That's a part of your mental health. And so I think I recognized mental health and kind of started being open to discussing more about mental health after I tore my ACL and then into college. But I think mental health has always played a part of my life.
Yeah, amazing. So what are some of your mental health non-negotiable self-care type tactics or strategies that you do on a daily basis or weekly basis?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely something I still struggle with today. Creating a balance is always super tough. But the thing that I do the most is I try to keep myself busy. So I love to work. I love to work out. I love to be around people, socialize, hang out with my family. I always like to keep my mind going. And that's kind of like my thing that I do. But also it's led me down a path of not knowing when to turn it off, how to have an on switch. And so I'd say, you asked what is your go-tos. My go-to is staying busy.
Yeah.
But my biggest struggle is actually learning how to kind of turn it off and be like, okay, today I'm not going to do something or create a piece of advocacy content or post a social media thing. And today I'm not going to do some work for a company or someone that I'm consulting for, because you know what, Sander? You just need to meditate and relax. And it's something that I'm working through.
Dude, I love that answer. I'm very similar, man. I feel so good and accomplished and fulfilled when I'm busy, when I'm on the phone, when I'm making calls, when I'm closing deals, when I'm coaching clients, when I'm reaching out to people for numerous different things. So being busy is really important. And mental health is tough because we all have anxiety, we all have depression. And being able to reel in that anxiety and prevent future anxiety is something that's really important. So it's not just taking care of it right here, right now, but preventing in the future. And, you guys are on TLC, right? And I don't know how many seasons there's been of I Am Jazz. How many seasons has there been?
7 seasons.
Seven
So I've been on
seasons.
reality TV since 2015.
Oh my God. What has that been like?
It's been pretty cool. A lot of people think that we got on reality TV, we wanted fame, we wanted fortune, and all those things, and that's just not what it's been about. It's been about helping people and sharing messages like mental health messages, and specifically for our family LGBTQ plus messages, which I think mental health comes in intertwined. Um, and so yeah, it's been pretty cool because we get these messages of people saying how we changed their life, saved their life, and that's what it's really all about. At the same time, I mean, being on a reality TV show, as I'm sure you know from Big Brother, comes with a lot of haters. It comes with a lot of people who are putting you down, and especially in today's society where people could just hide behind a screen. There's a lot of hate in this world, and there was a lot of people in college who didn't like me, who bullied me, people who put me down and didn't just because I was supporting my little sister and spreading positive messages. I've never once told someone that their opinion is wrong or that they can't have opinions, but I will share my opinion and my thoughts. And my thoughts are that everyone love everyone and let's spread love. So being on a reality TV show has come with a lot of perks, but a lot of people will try to jab at you. And because you are spreading this message, because you have this pedestal and someone else wants that pedestal, they come at you.
Yeah.
So it's ups and downs, but at the end of the day, I just knowing that we saved one life is worth it all, and I know that we've saved many and many lives, so it's rewarding.
Many lives already and many lives to come. And what you guys are doing is incredible work. And we need more people like you to be outspoken and to share your journey and your struggles. And we're all humans. And, there are going to be people that are going to take jabs at us. And that's their problem, not ours, right? We're not going to create resistance around it. If people want to hate, you have hate in your heart. We feel bad for you. You are, suffering yourself. Clearly, that you have nothing better to do than hate on someone else that is not harming anyone. Like, you're just helping people. Why would anyone go out of their way to push hate against you and your family and whatever? And, I have a very similar situation where I have people that reach out to me from anonymous emails, from, bullshit phone numbers, like talking shit about me, about things. And, not everyone's going to approve of what you do in life. And I've used it to strengthen my skin and, show the doubters show the haters that I'm going to be successful. I'm going to continue to push positivity and personal growth and self-development. I'm going to continue to coach a ton of clients. I'm going to continue to strive. I'm going to continue to make money. And, I've kind of leveraged it and used it as an advantage. Like, I have a chip on my shoulder. Like, this is what I meant to do. And there's going to be people who are going to create barriers and speed bumps and hula hoops to jump through, and it's just going to make me stronger.
No one can stop you from being your most authentic self, and that's the number one thing that I know I want to do in my life. It was actually from a UF seminar type thing where they were like, write down the things you know about yourself, and you might not know them all now, but write some things down. And the one thing that from that day that I really took from it was, I know I love to help people, and I know in helping people, there's going to be people who say you're bullshitting. You just want to make money. You don't actually care about us. But those comments can't bring me down because I know who Sander is and I know what I care about. And at the end of the day, if something I'm doing isn't helping people, I'm going to walk away from it. I don't care how much money it's making me. I don't care what benefits it's providing me. If it's not helping other people, I'm an empath. That's what I'm going to do. And so every single day I wake up in the morning and I try to think of ways I can help people. Yeah. And when we talk about mental health, sometimes it is at the expense of my mental health in a way. But at the same time, like we said, like you mentioned before, what are the things that you put away and you hide away and then it comes back later and it really affects you? Well, these are the type of things that, in the long run, it's that day that I have that viral advocacy piece of content that all those months of creating content that I got hate on, but then I have a video, which right now is happening, 7 million views talking about trans men being men. And I'm like, this is why I do what I do. I'm helping people. And even if there's tons of hate comments, I know that there's so many trans individuals. I know in the mental health videos, they're like, heck yeah. And there's people out there that I'm helping. And so it's worth it, even if it comes with some struggle each and every day.
Amazing. And that's a lot of the work you're doing now. So tell the audience a little more about what you're spending your time and energy doing. What do you focus on? Some of your goals in the short-term future?
Yeah, so a lot of exciting stuff happening in my life. The show is actually on its last episode, so it's about to be over, and I've been really focused on promoting the show. And whenever there's a topic being talked about, especially in relation to the LGBTQ plus community, I make a piece of advocacy content around it to try to grow it, blow it up on TikTok, Facebook, and in Instagram. Aside from that, I recently, a few months ago, I announced it recently, but I joined a startup called Check In, which is focused on people helping people. So here's the kind of idea of it all. So Zach, you went through something that maybe right when I was starting on reality TV, because that was probably around the time you were on
Yeah.
reality TV, and I was getting all this hate, and I was like, oh my gosh, I need someone to talk to about this that's been through it. And Zach's on Check In, and he's like, and I'm like, okay, I'll go check in with Zach because this is one of his topics, going through being on a reality TV show, whatever. And then from there, I get the help from you, and then someone else is like, "Oh, I want to help from Sander on how to be an ally." They'll come check in with me. So it's kind of creating this place where everyone can help everyone. Someone's been through something, right? That someone else is going through now, and then you're probably struggling with something someone else has gone through. So it's like you could be a guide to someone, but you could also be guided by someone, and it's creating this kind of equilibrium place where everyone could just help everyone. It's very in its infancy, but I'm really excited about the potential. Has some really good backers. The founders of Meetup, LinkedIn, Indeed are all kind of helping to invest in this, and I'm in charge of growing it. So that's what I've been spending a lot of my daily day doing, aside from my social media content, spreading love, positivity, joy, some workout videos, mental health.
Amazing, dude. I would love to get on check in. That sounds like a great concept, and you have my support. Anything I can do to help you out, I'm there. So that's really exciting stuff, man. So tell us more about like life, man. How's your mental health right now? How did the season go this year? Anything you want to discuss?
Yeah, I would say my mental health is in a decent place. I'm very excited because I'm about to make uh, a little trip, go on a little West Coast trip to Colorado and then San Diego, kind of having a month of exploration. One thing that does sometimes get to me, one of the comments that do get to me is when people are like, "Oh, why do you still live at home, Santa?" And I'm like, "Oh, we were filming a reality TV show. COVID hit, and I didn't expect to leave UF till a year later. All these things that kind of affected it, and I just love to travel and don't really know where I want to settle." So the thing that my mental health struggles most with is the idea of commitment. And I've kind of made this decision now that, you know what, I'm going to go on a trip, and I'm going to go on a couple trips, and I'm not going to commit to a place where I don't want to live or anything like that. So that was something I was struggling with mentally, but I've kind of gotten through it by deciding I'm going to go on a trip, and I'm not going to go get an apartment somewhere at these extremely high rates by myself where I feel like I'll just wither away and feel tied down to. Instead, I'm going to go out on a trip and travel, and I'm going to explore, and I'm going to collab with people, and I'm going to get my creative juices flowing, and I'm going to focus on building check-in. And so I'm super pumped for that. Um, my family, I care so much about them, so whenever they're struggling, obviously that's always tough. But my twin brother just crushed it in law school, and he seems to be finding a lot of balance. Jazz is in her second semester at Harvard. She goes through her daily struggles. She's had a lot of mental health things, but I've been texting her every day. I send her an elephant to remind her, I'm thinking about you. And then my older sister Ari is doing pretty well as well up at Arkansas. And so knowing that they're doing well helps me do well. And now I'm ready to kind of venture on out, let my parents have alone time, and do my thing while building all these other things as well, focused on helping people.
Amazing, dude. So your travels, you're going to Colorado and then San Diego?
That's the plan. I mean, I have the first 4 days planned out, and it's a month-long trip. And besides that, nothing really planned. I don't really want to plan it. I'm a go with the flow kind of person. Um, I just like to move one step at a time, one day at a time, put one foot in front of the other, and that's what I'm kind of doing. The show ending, obviously, because you asked about that. It's We'll see if there's going to be another season. Maybe, maybe not. If there isn't, I'm going to continue spreading advocacy, doing my thing. But I'm pretty proud of the season and everything that we shared. So I feel good about it. I have some new lifelong friends from it. And so, yeah, I feel like I'm in a pretty good place in my life. The only thing I don't really have that I talk about sometimes on my social media is a special someone to share it with. But, I'm in no
Okay.
rush.
So what are you looking for? It's all the people that are listening right now. If that perfect someone's listening, who's that perfect someone?
Yeah, I would say that perfect someone is someone who cares about helping people, someone who is also empathetic, someone who can be 50-50, or some people like to say, oh, why are you saying 50-50? It's 100-100. Someone who's willing to put in everything I'm willing to put in, and back and forth, like it's in the middle. I've been in relationships where, I felt like I was giving more, and then I've been in some where I couldn't give, so I had to walk away. And I'm looking for someone who wants to give as much as I want to give, wants to love as much as I want to love, and is just passionate about, creating change and doing good things for the world. That's kind of it emotionally. I'm definitely looking for an emotional connection before I'm looking for a physical connection. It's obviously fun and games to go out there and, have casual stuff, but I'm trying to settle down and, meet that
Good,
special
man.
someone. But I'm not really looking. I'm kind of just going with the flow and
Yep. And that's what usually happens when you're not really looking, you're not intentional about trying to find anybody, is usually when it kind of just falls into your lap. And I think that if it happens to you, it's gonna be when you're out of your comfort zone, when you're somewhere that you're not used to being in, like San Diego or Colorado. Exactly. Well, one more thing before we head out. Do you have any advice or mental health advice to the people that are listening right now, whether they're struggling with anxiety or depression or gender, sexuality, whatever it is? Do you got just like one common piece of advice for everyone out there?
Yeah, see, that's always the question that I feel like people ask, like, what is that common piece of advice? And I'd say it changes with the day for me. Like some days I'll say the grass gets greener when you're struggling. But I'd say the overarching thing is, be yourself. You know who you are, and if you don't like who you currently are, then make the change to be that person that you want to be. There's going to be people telling you, and some people who maybe won't support you along you being your most authentic self. But I can assure you that being you is the best way to improve your mental health and kind of grow from it. Even if you're starting with being you today. A year from now, that you is going to be evolved and it's going to be grown and likely have better mental health. Yeah. So I always just think being your most authentic self is the main key way to grow. And then I know you mentioned the word intentionality, and for 2021, my main thing I was focused on was intentionality. Anything that wasn't towards my goal of helping people, I was letting go of and not following through on in my life, because I wanted to be intentional with my intentions, with everything I do. And so I think being intentional is a huge way for you to improve your mental health. Be intentional with whatever you're doing in any single day, because that's how you maximize your day and live your life to the fullest. And it also probably helps you be you.
Wow, comes full circle. Be your authentic self. Be intentional about what you want to accomplish. I would say the same thing, and a little more to add to that, being super clear on your values. Like, what do you value most? Is it freedom? Is it helping people? Is it money? Is it traveling? Is it your work, your vocation? Is it your family? And prioritizing those values and aligning your decisions and your thoughts and your action with those values is how you're going to increase your happiness. Well, Sander, brother, I mean, thank you so much for taking the time to come on the podcast today. To all the people that are listening on Apple and Spotify, thank you so much. If you want to subscribe and leave a review, that'd be great. Go ahead and follow Sander on Instagram and TikTok. His Instagram is Sander _ Jennings, SANDER _ Jennings. And TikTok, what's your TikTok handle?
TikTok is the same, Sander _ Jennings. And Facebook as well, just Sander Jennings.
Perfect. Keeping it really easy. Awesome. All right, man. Well, enjoy your weekend and your week, and enjoy your trip to San Diego and Colorado. Thanks so much again, and we'll connect again soon.
Yeah, I appreciate it, Zach.
What's up, guys? Are you looking to work with me as your life coach without spending all the money? Well, I have a perfect product and service for you. The Life Coach Zach app. I recently launched the Life Coach Zach app earlier this year, and it has a ton of resources and services that are perfect for you, including, but not limited to, guided affirmations, guided meditations, exclusive podcasts, and mindfulness exercises for you to live your best life. Head over to lifecoachzach.app and download the app today.